Okay, so what we have learned this week so far is how to solve systems of equations. This is for the video, you guys, so pay attention, please. We learned how to solve systems of equations with this method called combination and elimination. And so what we've got is are, for example, two equations. You can write them down here. I'm not going to even bother solving this, but I want to write it just to illustrate something. So this right here is a perfect example of a system of equations that can be solved with combination and elimination. And the reason being is because you have an opposite coefficient here with the y. And this is something that we've been identifying for the last 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. How to identify that opposite coefficient. It's the same number, it just has a different sign. And once we identify that, we know that we can add those equations together, thereby eliminating the y variable and just getting one equation with one variable in it. That would be x. So that you can solve for x, plug it back into one of the equations to get y, just like we've been doing. So today what we're going to do is add one more layer to the onion, I suppose you could say, and do a slightly different type of problem. And here's an example of one. This system of equations can also be, or I should say should also be, solved with the combination and elimination method. And the reason is because you're very close in this system of equations to having an opposite coefficient. You're very close to that. And the reason is because you have a -2 on the y here and a -2 on the y here. But what's the one thing that you need in order to use combination and elimination? That this one has here, which this one does not. Yeah, so it's an opposite coefficient, right? This right here is the same coefficient. It's not opposite. See this? Plus minus, and see this? Minus minus. So what we need in the second one is what? We need a plus and a minus, or a minus and a plus, whatever. So one of them needs to change. And that's what I'm going to teach you how to do today. And what you can do to change either this one to a plus or this one to a plus so that they have opposite signs is multiply one of the equations through by a number. And you can do that. You can actually multiply equations through by any number you want. So I am going to multiply this equation through, the bottom one through, by -1. So what this means is I'm going to multiply through by -1, thereby switching the signs of all of the terms. So what does that mean? -1 times -30 is what? Yeah, positive 30. This will become positive 2y. This will become positive 6x. So I'm going to write that down below. So I've just changed the equation, the bottom equation, by multiplying it through by -1. I can multiply through an equation by any number I want, but I want to be strategic in how I do that so that I can get what I need. In this case, an opposite coefficient. Now I have that. Here and here, you see. Now can I combine the equations to eliminate? Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to do. That's all I want to do. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to combine the equations. The top one here and the bottom one there. Okay, I changed the middle one. Now I'm going to use this bottom one. -4x plus 6x. That's 2x. -2y plus 2y. That's going to be 0, and that's what we wanted. We wanted 1 to go away. Negative 16 plus 30. Negative 16 plus 30? 14. Sorry, there you go. So now we have one equation with one variable. Let's solve for it. So I will divide both sides by 2. Because we don't need to, I mean, we could divide that by 2, but it'd still be 0. So x equals 7. And now we can find y, just like we did before. So we take 7 and we plug it into either one of these two equations. I'm going to plug it into this one right here because it's mostly positive, and I like positive numbers instead of negative numbers. So I'm going to take the x, and I'm going to be careful too. I'm going to be careful to make sure to plug it into the right variable. Some people I've noticed have been plugging it into the wrong variable. Like, for instance, they take 7 and plug it in here for the y. Make sure you plug the x in where the x goes. That's very important, or else you're going to get the wrong answer. So it goes right there. We finish this equation. 6 times 7 is 42, a math fact you should know. And we go about solving this equation like we usually do. Finally, divide both sides by 2. And y equals negative 6. So we found x, we found y, and then we write our answer as an ordered pair, 7, negative 6. And we're done. That's our answer. Okay. So this is the combination and elimination method. Just to reiterate what we did, okay? From the top, the only thing we did today was we multiplied through one of the numbers by, or one of the equations by negative 1 to get the opposite coefficient there. Then we can finish the problem like we did Monday and Tuesday.